Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of The 3 Count. I'm War Machine MJ, that's Rodimus Prime,
Yo.
and we are the 3 Count Mafia. Mainstream Malcolm is still at work, and we're here to talk about the network stuff that he never watches.
205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK. And NXT UK continuously gives us 2 episodes per week.
2 episodes. Well, let's go ahead and start off with 205 Live. We start off with a tag team match between Drew Gulak making 205 Live great again.
Yes. I'd actually wear that hat.
I would too if it wasn't complete bullshit. 205 Live is as great as it's going to get.
Yeah.
Anyway, Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher against the Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa.
Now, before this match, they did show some of the stuff between the Brian Kendrick, Gulak, and Gallagher. Dasha interviewed both Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick, and she was asking how the chemistry is going to work, being that they were former enemies. Now they've formed some type of bond, and they really couldn't give an answer and just walked out.
It was so awkward. It looked like they wanted to say something.
Yeah,
but they were told not to.
Especially Kendrick. He was just like...
He was like...
And Dasha was just like, okay, that went well.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Anyway, this match was alright.
Yeah.
Gulak and Gallagher had the upper hand for most of this match, being down Kendrick in their corner.
Yep.
And the tide changed when Kendrick got the hot tag to Tozawa. And, you know, there was some good back and forth. There was even the spot where Tozawa had Gulak in a submission hold, while Brian Kendrick was holding Jack Gallagher off with a front face lock. Gallagher shoved off Kendrick. Kendrick stumbled and broke up the submission that Akira had locked in. And so Tozawa was backing down. Kendrick saying, "Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault." Meanwhile, Tozawa got taken out.
Yeah. Like you said, this was a decent match to start off the show.
Yeah.
Gulak and what's the face won, right?
Yeah, Gallagher.
Yeah, they won, so they get the upper hand on the not so fortunate tag team of Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, get ready for the next couple of weeks on this.
Oh, jeez.
I almost said a couple of months. Ooh. Yeah. Next up, we had the official weigh-in between Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali, as they call him. Not Mustafa, it's Mustafa. You got to put the R with it. Anyway, Mustafa weighed in at 182 pounds, and Buddy Murphy weighed in at 204. Afterwards, they got in each other's face, started jaw-jacking, and then next thing you know, a brawl ensued, and they had to be pulled apart. And
what was weird about being pulled apart was Drake Maverick was holding Mustafa like this.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, bro? He kept hollering, "Save it for Sunday, save it for Sunday."
And he's just like full body wrap.
And meanwhile, they're like grabbing Buddy Murphy like this by the arms. He's like hugging Mustafa. Like, dude, what the fuck?
My Mustafa. My Mustafa.
Like, bro, chill out.
It was weird.
It was weird, and I believe he was looking at him like, bro, why you on me like that? Get off.
I imagine, you know, they kept that intensity once the cameras rolling. Once the camera stopped rolling, it's like, dude, you can let go now.
Yeah, like,
this is weird.
Yeah.
People are going to talk. Stop.
And they did announce that this is at Survivor Series. It's on the main card, surprisingly.
For the first time ever, they're on the main card.
This is going to be a banger come Sunday.
Oh, definitely.
So we'll be looking forward to that match. But that's how the weigh-in ensued.
Anyway, next up we had Lince Dorado and Kalisto of the Lucha House Party. Grandma Lake wasn't there because he was welcoming in his new child.
Yeah, he's still with his wife. Congratulations to them on the birth of their new child.
Yeah, anyway, those two squared off against Mike Karma and Craig Niesman.
Yeah.
Who said no to lucha, lucha, lucha.
Yeah.
They got their asses promptly whipped.
Yeah. He kept hollering no lucha, but still.
What'd you think of Lince Dorado coming out there wearing that Cosby sweater jacket?
I didn't pay attention to it, so.
He wore some kind of funky ass multicolored jacket. Looked like a Cosby sweater.
I swear I didn't pay attention to it, so. I really don't have an opinion.
Anyway, after the match, Maria Kanellis looking $1,000,000.
As she always does, her sexy self.
She appeared on the Titantron, basically said, good job winning the match. You're not going to be so fortunate next week as Grand Metalik takes on TJP.
Yeah, she said, please bring TJP there. Because this thing with you guys and my crew, she did mention a third person.
Did she? I didn't catch that.
I think she did. I can't remember. Anyway, she basically just said, it's not over. So stay tuned.
She just kept paying attention to Grand Metalik multiple times, like she did something nefarious to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird, but I got the gist of it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up we had the main event, Cedric Alexander and Lio Rush. I like how you left the winner blank. Did you say fuck it, I'm tired of writing?
No, it was, sometimes I get the writing and I just be forgetting shit.
Okay.
But anyway, this was a hell of a match. The crowd,
It was.
halfway through the match, the crowd was kind of dead, but they picked up, they got into the match, and this match here did not disappoint. No, it did not.
Oh no. Especially that lumbar check at the end where Lio Rush got that much height.
Yeah.
After he hit the knees.
Right.
I love how people sell that shit.
Who was that? Davari.
Yeah.
He used to sell that shit. Him and Kendrick.
I like how everybody sells it differently too. Some people will spring up, or some people will just like crumple like a sack of potatoes.
They do, but the lumbar check is a really good move. This match, definitely one of the best matches of 205 Live. The man of the hour, Lio Rush, the 24-year-old piece of gold now. He got his first loss.
He got his first L.
Yeah. So yeah, good match.
Hell, I'd look forward to these two guys in a 1 hour throwdown.
Oh yeah, I'd watch the shit out of that.
Afterwards, we had a Mustafa Ali promo. He's got good promos. I mean, okay, not all of his promos are like promos of the year.
Yeah.
But when they let him do what he wants with those promos, it's amazing.
Especially that one where he did that promo on Hideo Itami when he was in the ring.
Yeah. Oh,
that was great.
Oh.
That was fantastic. I like that.
When he does promos like that, it's solid gold.
Yeah.
When he's given these phoned-in promos by, whoever writes this crap, he can make it work, but it's just doesn't have that signature sauce to it.
Now the promos you talked about, like where you did in the ring, it's like when he talks, you listen. You're just so intrigued on what he says, but the scripted shit is just like, eh.
Well, I mean, the promos he does that he has creative control in, it's like something from a movie.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography's there, the environment, what he's wearing, everything is on point.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, oops, that's your notes for War Games.
Yeah.
And Survivor Series.
Yeah, I kind of got them all in. But.
That's all right. Next up, we had NXT.
Yes. We
started out with Bianca Belair taking on the Malaysian baddie, Mia Yim.
It was the EST of NXT taking on the HBIC, the head baddie in charge. They just cut on to the show. They started the show, and they immediately started this match. Really good match between these two.
Yes.
I did not see Bianca Belair losing this match. But
because she is undefeated.
Or, as she did last week, she's undefeated. It's like she took like 10 smacks just to say what she said.
Now, something I want to talk with you about. Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, they have torn away from her doing her hair whip spot.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of this or no?
I'll say yeah, because, I mean, you don't need to overdo it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really haven't paid attention to it like that, but, you know, I don't mind them kind of slowing down on that. Because when we saw it live, that shit sounded like a fucking whip.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. But I'm not mad that they kind of stopped it.
Well, I wouldn't say stop it. I just meant like they hold in reserve.
Well, yeah.
I'm on board with it because it's like I was telling Malcolm while we were watching All In, and it turned out the match between Pentagon and Kenny was just a straight up match. You know, nothing special to it.
Mm-hmm.
You take away, you know, something that somebody's made their own, and you get to see how good of a wrestler they are without it.
Yep.
See, Bianca Belair, without that gimmick, she is still amazing.
Yes.
With that gimmick, you know, it just adds a nice little bit of spice to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, as he said, Bianca Belair won against Mia Yim with that reverse burning hammer.
Yes, she calls it the KOD.
The KOD. Wait, does that mean something, or?
No. Well, it was actually a... Well, this is off subject. There was actually a nightclub that recently got shut down called KOD, King of Diamonds.
Oh.
But for her, getting back on subject, that's what she calls the move, the KOD. I don't know what it stands for, but...
I'm pretty sure they'll give us something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode of NXT was littered with hype packages for War Games.
Fact.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much... It's like they had a match, hype package. Match, hype package.
Yeah.
Basically setting up for War Games this Saturday.
Yeah, the episodes before and after takeovers are usually the sloggiest.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we had Carissa Rivera taking on Lacey Evans.
Now, I did see this Carissa chick. You know, she's a very beautiful lady.
Mm-hmm.
But we all knew she was going to get her ass kicked by the...
by the lady of NXT.
Yeah, by the lady of NXT. Maria calls herself the first lady. Lacey calls herself the lady of NXT. And she was definitely going to give her rights, the women's rights.
Yeah, she had a right to be knocked out.
Yeah. She got on the mic afterwards and she called the women a bunch of nasties. I wish she would come up with something else. It just sounds so corny. Calling everybody a bunch of nasties.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
First off, she's a lady, so she's not going to use any foul language.
I mean, I know that.
Second off, I mean, her kid was in the crowd, so.
Oh, I didn't see her kid.
Yeah. Well, the guy that she put a hat on was, I think, husband, father, something. The father of her kid.
Oh, okay.
And her little girl was on the shoulders.
Oh,
anyway.
I didn't notice that. I really didn't.
Second. And third, really, you think nasties is the worst they could do? Put her up on main roster, give her first promo. We'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah. I mean, you do make a point.
Take your victories where you could get them. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Anyway, after a couple more hype packages, we got the main event, which saw the winning representative of the team get an advantage at War Games.
War Games?
Earlier in the night, Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders were deciding who's going to be in this match.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne said, I'm going to be in there. Ricochet said, well, I'm the one and only, so I'm going to be the one to go in there.
Yeah, and they kept jaw-jacking back and forth, and Rowe was just like, okay, shut the fuck up.
He's like, enough.
Yeah, he was like, enough, shut the fuck up. Hanson was like, you know what? I'm going in there. So he took on Kyle O'Reilly representing the Undisputed Era, and this was a damn good match.
Kyle O'Reilly was on point right from the jump because he busted out that guitar solo, had a nice little kick to it.
Yeah.
Oh, he was right on point in this match.
Yeah, and of course, Undisputed Era had to help their boy out. Adam Cole, baby. Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong. Then Rowe, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne came out there. But the numbers game was in Undisputed Era's favor because Kyle O'Reilly got the advantage for his team.
Yeah, he smacked Hanson in the back of the head with his title belt. Got the pin, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, now before we move on, we did get an interview with Matt Riddle, the King of Bros.
Bro, where he botched it.
Yeah, he said he made his debut.
Debut.
Now, it is spelled like that, but, you know, we got what he was trying to say. And Cassius Ono came out there. Well, he came and interrupted his interview, and he said, you know what? I fought with some of the best. I challenged then NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura. I face the glorious Bobby Roode. Why don't you face me? Why don't you step up to the plate? Matt Riddle's like, you know what? I'll do that. Next week on NXT, you and me, one-on-one. What you got to say about that? He said, oh no, Cassius is going to get knocked out. So, I'll see you next week. And Cassius Ohno just walked off.
My question is, was he supposed to botch that, or he just said, screw it. They love me, I'm going to botch it?
I think he just said that on purpose. I don't think it was like scripted or anything. I think he just said that on purpose.
Either way, it was great.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle seems like the kind of guy that he's got that Rob Van Dam mentality.
Yeah. They did show a video where he met Triple H and Matt Bloom, and he wore that damn two-piece with flip-flops. The fuck? Because Triple H was like, did you bring any shoes? He's like, yeah, I brought some flip-flops. I'm pretty sure he wore that in the crowd when they showed him at the last TakeOver show.
Of course.
Like, the fuck?
Anyway,
fucking Matt Riddle.
Next up, we had episode 7 of NXT UK, where we started the show off with all the women on the stage. Before we get to what that all is about, I was just looking at how each woman looked, because you had these slender builds, and you had Rhea Ripley on the end, just like an imposing juggernaut compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, it was like all the women here, Rhea Ripley here, and she just looked like, I'm going to beat these bitches up.
You know, she just looked like, I'm going to eat all these for breakfast. Still, I'll be hungry.
eat them for brunch. Still be hungry. Eat them for dinner. Supper. I'm still hungry. I want
Midnight
more.
snack. Still hungry. Wake up. Eat. Still hungry. Go back to bed.
Oh my god.
No, but this division is more colorful than Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah. There are 8 women in the division thus far, being it's a new show.
Well, 7. One of the women on stage was not WWE signed.
Millie McKenzie. Well, they showed 8.
Yeah.
But
Millie McKenzie was on stage, yeah. There was 8 women. Oh, okay. The announcement was Johnny Saint and Triple H announced NXT Women's Championship, and that belt looks beautiful.
It does. There was an 8-woman tournament to determine the new champion. Now, spoiler alert, this was taped months ahead, months in advance. But anyway, they showed all 8 women. They showed the belt. They even showed before, like, Triple H handing them the belt, like, this is what you're going to compete for.
Yeah.
And like he mentioned, the belt is gorgeous.
UK division has the best belts.
Yes.
I thought NXT had the best belts, but no, the UK division has the best belts.
Especially when they unveiled those tag team belts.
Oh, it looks so good. It looked like the old WCW tag belts.
It does.
Anyway, but yeah, there was an 8-woman tournament over the course of the weeks. Again, of course, we know who won it. Rhea Ripley won it.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Not spoiler.
Anyway, yeah, so Millie McKenzie was one of the 8 in the tournament.
Yeah.
She would have been the youngest NXT Women's Champion.
Just 18 years old.
18 years, and she's kicking ass.
And Rhea Ripley's just 22.
I know, man.
She and Toni Storm. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Just imagine what they're going to do in the next 5 years.
I mean, they'll be as big as Pete Dunne is now. Except for... Okay, I phrased that wrong. They're as big as Pete Dunne is now. In 5 years, all 3 of them are just going to be mega stars.
Yeah.
Anyway, we started. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, as if they aren't already.
Oh yeah, they're hot commodities. All 3 of them.
All trio.
Anyway, we started off competition with NXT UK jobber Sid Scala.
Oh my God.
He's got a great sunny disposition. I'll say that.
You know what? Despite the fact that he's lost, and we're just almost 10 episodes in, I actually like Sid. You know, I get he tries his hardest to win. I get it, but he's NXT UK's residential jobber for right now until they get somebody else. We'll talk more about him later.
He's like Gabriel Kidd was when What Culture was starting off.
Yeah.
Just a jobber racking up losses.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sid Scala took on Jordan Devlin, and Jordan Devlin whipped the dog shit out of him.
As I like to call him, Finn Balor 2.0, being he was trained by Finn. He got on the mic, and what's the guy's name again?
Razzie.
Razzie. For some reason, he just gets on my nerves.
He asked, has the NXT UK crowd seen the real Jordan Devlin?
He says, real Jordan Devlin? Are you serious? People keep asking, who am I? And they kept chanting, who are you? Who are you? He says, I know who I am. He said, there's a guy back there in the locker room with a mask on, pretending to be a luchador. He's from Leeds. Basically calling out Ligero.
That was the best line of the show.
And the crowd was just laughing like, holy shit, dude. But he said, you need to go ask Ligero, who does Ligero think he is?
Yeah, because Jordan Devlin said, I don't care if anybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
You know, he just basically said, I don't give a fuck who they know and what they know.
And on the next show, it was, I think it's episode 8 or 9.
Yeah, episode 9, because it wasn't on the next episode.
Okay. Episode 9, it will be Ligero versus Jordan Devlin.
Yep. Next up was more tag team action. It was the Bangrila Bad Boy, Amir Jordan, and the Luckian Kenny Williams took on Muscle Cat Jesus, Saxton Huxley, and Joseph Connors.
You know what? When they showed that they unveiled those tag team titles, I can see Huxley and Connors being a good tag team. I can definitely see them in the mix for those belts.
I liked Joseph Connors before the UK division.
Yeah.
Like back when he was on What Culture? Oh, he was great.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't watch much of him, but from what I saw, he was definitely fantastic.
And I'm glad they're finally using him.
Yes. And, of course, they brought back the name of his move, the DLD, Don't Look Down. I love the name of that movie.
Oh, I loved it. I didn't like That's All She Wrote.
That sounds cheesy as fuck.
I like Don't Look Down.
Yes.
Anyway, Saxon Huxley and Joseph Connors picked up the victory. Next up, we had Tyler Bate taking on Mr. Mayhem, James Drake.
Yeah, you had one half of Mustache Mountain and the other half of the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was a decent match. A lot of back and forth. Who won? Tyler Bate?
Tyler Bate won.
Yeah, Tyler Bate won. And, you know, we would see more of James Drake later on in the show.
Anyway, we wrapped up this episode with Ashton Smith taking on Wolfgang.
Yeah, Ashton Smith, he's had his problems with the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang. And he's wanted to get his hands on Wolfgang for quite some time since turning his back on him and the other two guys. But...
Well, no, he also wanted to get back because he got jumped by Wolfgang and the other two before his match.
Yeah. But it was okay. Of course, the Coffee Brothers were going to be on the side of Wolfgang, and Wolfgang ended up getting the match.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on, Sid Scala, I think it was episode 7. Razzie was interviewing him.
No, it was episode 8.
It was episode 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, since we're talking about episode 8, let's go and jump into it. Sid Scala was basically interviewed by Razzie. You know, he's getting asked, you know, where do you go from here? What do you do? What do you need to change? He's like, well, you know, I've let these people down. They loved me. I let them down. So you know what? I'm going to take my shot, and I'm going to go ask Johnny Saint for a shot.
Yeah, basically said, I know there's an opportunity out there for me. I'm going to go ask Mr. Saint for an opportunity.
He's got such a nice guy demeanor.
Yeah, again, I like him, but he's just NXT UK's residential jobber at the moment.
He's a jobber you can get behind.
Yeah.
Anyway, we started off the show and the NXT women's tourney with Dakota Kai taking on Nina Samuels.
This was a really good match.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed the match. Nina Samuel and Dakota Kai both put on one hell of a performance. Nina Samuel, I don't think she's gotten a win yet.
Not yet.
She's also NXT UK's residential female jobber.
I wouldn't say that now.
Well, not as bad as Sid Scala.
I was about to say, we've only seen her twice.
Yeah. Sid Scala, he's on here like almost every week.
He gets beat by every debuter.
Yeah. Anyway, Dakota Kai won. She moves on in the tournament.
Yeah, she won with the chiropractor.
Yeah. I like that name.
I mean, if she partners up with Cedric Alexander, they can open up their own massage parlor. Because you got a lumbar check and a chiropractor.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, the chiropractor is just a Canadian destroyer into a lung blower.
Yeah.
It looks kind of sloppy because like it looks like she slows down going into the destroyer.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up we had Jake Constantino taking on the debuting Tyson T-Bone.
Yeah. Tyson T-Bone was in the first UK Championship tournament.
And the second.
And the second. Basically, this was a squash.
Yeah.
Just to sum all this up.
But it did play into our next match because...
well, before we get into the next match, he got on the mic, he said, "This is the best that NXT UK gives me."
Yeah.
And he just chuckled. He's like, "This is a joke." Then we get to our next match. The Bomber Dave Mastiff, that freaking human refrigerator.
Massive Dave Mastiff.
Yes. He is freaking massive. Now, there was an NFL player. They called him the refrigerator. But this is like...
Yeah, the refrigerator. Perry the refrigerator something or another.
Yeah, his last name was Perry.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I think John Cena inducted him.
Yeah, I want to say Rock. Whatever his first name is.
Anyway, yeah, I know who you're talking about, though.
But this guy is like massive on top of massive on top of massive. All 300... Nearly 325 pounds on him.
Dave Mastiff is like country boy big times 3.
Yeah, and he said, "You want the best of NXT UK?" Like, they were just staring each other down as he was coming through the ring. And I like how they just shake the camera when he's coming down.
Oh, yes, it's a good effect.
Yeah, and he was just like, "You want to talk about the best in NXT UK? Watch this."
He told him to stand up there and watch my match.
Yeah.
And while Tyson T-Bone was standing up there, we had Dave Mastiff versus another enhancement talent, Dan Maloney.
Yeah.
Which, during the match, they kept coming back to Tyson T-Bone watching the match.
Yeah.
In fact, they did that shot where it was the camera behind T-Bone as he was watching the match.
Yeah.
So it's a nice touch. Of course, Massive Dave Mastiff won.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Shit.
Now, I wouldn't mind seeing these two team up as a tag team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As they always mention, he moves like a heavyweight. No, he's like a heavyweight, moves like a cruiserweight.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, then the second match of the UK tourney was Jenny, the fashionista, taking on the human suplex baby girl, Millie McKenzie.
Yes.
I can't get enough of Millie McKenzie. She is great.
Millie McKenzie, for her to be 18 years old, she's another prospect in the business. It's just like, think of what she's going to do 5 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just those suplexes she gave Jenny was just like, holy shit. But this was a decent match. Jenny ended up getting the victory.
Yeah, she won with a jackknife pin.
Yeah.
She stole it from Millie.
Yeah, basically.
At some point during the show, there was a backstage interview where Ashton Smith was being interviewed, talking about, what's he going to do now that he lost to Wolfgang. He basically gave this speech like, okay, I was bound to lose sometime, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Eddie Dennis comes up and basically challenges him to a match.
Yeah. He said, well, he said something. He said, well, put your luck up against me.
Yeah.
And he was like, and one of the reporters were like, are you going to accept this challenge? He was like, I guess I'll have to.
Yeah. And that led us to our main event. Trent Seven of Mustache Mountain fame took on, say it with me, he is Liverpool's number one, soon to be recognized as the UK's number one, soon to be recognized as the world's number one, Zach Gibson.
Yes, my boy. And of course, the crowd had to antagonize him by saying, if you hate Zach Gibson, take your shoes off. And they literally took their shoes off.
This match was amazing, though.
Yes.
Both men just beat the holy hell out of each other.
Indeed. Tyler Bate came down to the ring to support his Mustache Mountain / British Strong Style mate.
Good. I was kind of expecting you to say mate.
Yeah. And then James Drake got involved. He pushed Tyler Bate into the steps. And Zach won with the roll-up, basically helping his grizzled young veteran partner.
Yeah. So that's a feud we're going to see.
Yeah. Afterwards, the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang took out Mustache Mountain.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended the show.
So things are basically heating up for those NXT UK tag team belts. Wow, that's a mouthful.
I like how they're doing that. Like, you know, all the champions or champion right now.
Yeah.
Are like the hot commodities and everybody's going at them. It's not like main roster. Like, oh, if I beat you for a title, 6 months later I get a shot.
Yeah, nobody's locked into any of those belts right now.
Yeah, but they're staking their claim. Like, hey, I should get a shot in the future. You know, this, that, and the third. I kind of like how they're doing that. Like,
yeah,
you know, they're shooting their shot at the championship. It's not like, oh, I'm calling out the champion, then like 3 months later, then like next week I don't get a shot. I gotta wait 6 months later.
Well, I mean, it's not like they have a champion right now.
Well, yeah.
And besides that, they need something for Pete Dunne to do. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like the idea that nobody's locked into any one division.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got Danny Burch, who's, you know, in the tag team division on regular NXT.
Yeah.
But he's a single star in NXT UK.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is our review of the network stuff. NXT UK, 205 Live.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So, yeah. So we'll see you guys later. I'm War Machine MJ. It's Rodimus Prime. Keep it hunting.